Hi guys, this is Mark McRae from markmcrae.com, and today I want to talk to you about the highest form of leverage, and that is thought. And the reason thought is the most important form of leverage that you can have is because by the time you start implementing ideas, it's already too late. So imagine that you have an idea and you're investigating it and you're researching it and you're trying to make a decision of whether you should or you shouldn't do that business or that activity or make that decision. The result of what you get 6 months later is really the result of how you were thinking at the beginning of that idea. Because 6 months later is really just the execution part. So if you've had a really good idea and it's researched well and it looks like it's going to fly, then 6 months later you'll get the results of that. But the results actually happened when you were investigating, researching, and trying to make that idea, the pluses and the minuses. That's where the leverage is. Because if you have an idea and you just start and it's a bad idea, 6 months later, you get the results of that bad idea. So the leverage part happens during the thought process. That's why the highest form of leverage in business is always at the thought process. Now, there'll be many occasions where you don't have the luxury of taking a long time to make a decision, but the longer and the better, the longer you can take to make that decision and the better research that decision, then generally the better the outcome. So that's why I think thought is the highest form of leverage. And just think about ideas that you've had in the past. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad. But where did it really fail or succeed? It failed or succeeded at the drawing board. It didn't fail or succeed later on, 6 months later. You had to make that thing work right at the beginning. If you can't make it work in a drawing board, it will probably never work in real life. So just think about that the next time you're thinking of something that you want to start. Take as much time as you possibly can, research it as much as you possibly can, talk to as many different people as you possibly can, because that stage, the thought process before the money is spent, before the enthusiasm has gone, you want to try and make sure it has the maximum chance of success. Okay, this is Mark McRae from markmcrae.com. If you need help with your business, just contact me at my website. Thanks for listening.